What's up, witches? It's the ZenWitch with an Oracle unboxing, delivering it a little late. Today, we have a really interesting set called the Lenormand Solitaire. Pretty fascinating. So it says Lenormand Solitaire, and on this side it says Manufacture Deluxe, 36 cards. Lenormand Solitaire, unique 2-set. It says 2 times set. Come on. 2x set. There we go. And then on this side, Lenormand Solitaire Deluxe, 18 cards. Then we have 36 plus 18 exquisitely illustrated cards. Now look at this. Pull it open, and you know what that means. Wait, give me a better snap. Well, close enough. It's magnetized, so it snaps shut. You've got that, matte, the matte here and the shiny here. So the packaging is pretty fun. Inside it says Lenormand Solitaire, a unique double set comprised of 36 bright, exquisitely illustrated cards that draw on the tradition of the famous French fortune teller Maria Lenormand, and a complementary collection of 18 solitaire cards. This card set suggests novel possibilities of readings, which will intrigue the enthusiasts of unusual cartomancy systems who are looking for new prospects in the study of life situations. This is very much written like someone who, for whom English is a second language. Lenormand Solitaire includes a guidebook which unpacks the meanings of the cards and affords the reader valuable information on how to unlock the 2 decks' intriguing potential. That better not be a frickin' stink bug. Ugh. All right, so here is the first deck. Let's just pull them all out here. That's 36 deck. Here's the 18 deck. I'll show that to you in a moment. And the booklet. So the booklet is nice matte, shiny letters. I mean, it's very pleasing. And it feels really good to the touch, just soft. Okay, the copyright, let me see if I can find that. This is by Irina Ilyina and V ad Veritatum. Okay, here we go. 2017. Okay, in the back here, this says VPIS Deluxe Cards. We are a group of individuals who bring their passion for creativity to the conception and realization of unique ideas in the fields of Tarot Oracle art and Tarot Oracle publishing. Each one of us is an established researcher and professional in their area. The range of expertise of our team is wide, embracing the fields of Tarot history, writing and editing, esoteric philosophy, printing, and project management. In 2017, we decided to integrate our creative efforts into an enterprise, VPIS Deluxe Cards, that strives for artistry, inventiveness, and novelty. VPIS Deluxe Cards has already published a range of unique and internationally renowned Tarot Oracle decks. So it doesn't say, it says in 2017 they got together to do this, but it doesn't say that this deck was printed in 2017. Printed in Ukraine. Fascinating. And we go straight into the cards, and at the very end of the book, after we finish the last card, there's just 1-page guidelines for using the 18-card solitaire deck. So we'll look at that when we get to this. Looking on the bottom, there we go. Ta-da! Copyright 2018. Deluxe Cards Limited, printed by SPPC Limited, Ukraine. All right. Here we have the backs, like the front of the box. I suppose that is Mademoiselle Lenormand. And here we go. These are the absolutely standard Lenormand images. What's really nice about these is, like many Lenormand decks, they have the actual playing card equivalent here. So we have 9 of Hearts. The rider is the 9 of Hearts. And, we see a rider on a horse. They're detailed images. Compare this to Tatiana's fortune-telling cards, which have just one picture, kind of negative in their color on there. So we have Clovers, number 2, the 6 of diamonds. Ship, number 3, the 10 of spades. House is the King of Hearts. Tree is the 7 of Hearts. Clouds, the King of Clubs. I'm finding it interesting. I'm just now starting, as I'm learning to use the Lenormands, I'm just now starting to look at these as a source of information as well. Snake is the Queen of Clubs. Coffin, 9 of diamonds. Bouquet, Queen of Spades. Interesting. Scythe, 1 of diamonds. Broom and Whip is the 1 of clubs. Birds is the 7 of diamonds. Child, 1 of spades. Fox, 9 of clubs. Bear, 10 of clubs. Stars, 6 of hearts. Stork, Queen of Hearts. Dog, 10 of hearts. Tower is 6 of spades. Garden is 8 of spades. Mountain is 8 of clubs. Ways is Queen of diamonds. This is usually referred to as crossroads. Sometimes path. This calls it ways. Mice is 7 of clubs. Heart, 1 of hearts. Ring is ace of... Okay, wait. Jack. Oh, every place I'm saying 1, it's Jack. That, I mean, come on. When you look really close, you can see. So I figured this is the first ace I've hit. I figured those were aces, and I was just calling them 1s. So let's go back here a second. So the Jack of Hearts is the heart card. Child is Jack of Spades. And Broom and Whip is Jack of Clubs. All right. That makes sense, I guess. Kind of, maybe. All right. 10 of diamonds is book. Letter is 7 of spades. Man, ace of hearts. Woman, ace of spades. King of spades represents Lily. Sun is ace of diamonds. Moon is 8 of hearts. Key, 8 of diamonds. Fish, King of diamonds. So there's one where that really, you know, think of King of diamonds, diamonds being the suit of pentacles. So associated with the earth element, right? So that, and fish representing money and wealth and finances. Anchor is 9 of spades. Cross, 6 of clubs. And that's the end. I think I'm going to do, should I do a reading with each in the beginning? Well, okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. I'm going to show you this deck because it's the same images as this deck, but it does this. So this is similar to the Russian Roma deck in that we've got 4 half images on the cards. The thing that doesn't happen when you're reading these is turning. You don't turn cards to match images. Although when I read with them the first time, I did. So you get the same images and the same references to the playing cards, but there are half the number of cards because each card can make 2 images, 2 whole. All right. So now with the book, we go straight into how the cards, what the cards mean. And it doesn't talk about a grand tableau or what kind of, do a line, an answer line or a pyramid or a diamond. It doesn't discuss that in any way. The only instructions in the booklet are how to use this set. And for each card, for instance, the Rider, it gives a general meaning for the card, and then it gives keywords, and then we get possible combinations where it pairs this card with every single card in the deck. And every single card in the deck has the same thing, a general description, keywords, and then pairing with every other card, which is really cool because in Lenormand, everything is affected by everything else. It reads like a sentence. There's no standalones. And unlike Tarot, you're not looking in here and saying, okay, well, I see the house is standing out to me. It's just, here's what the writer means, period. And here's what it means paired with the other cards. And, you know, as I'm learning these, it's very interesting. The question is key. You have to have a specific question, and then you read the cards in terms of that question. So you can get many different layers of meaning, not like Tarot where there's a lot of different symbols in it and you're interpreting those symbols, but in terms of the Tower, for instance, talks about success. So unlike the Tower in the Tarot, it talks about success because it's something that's been built, right? Attainment, achievement. But if you're asking the cards about something like, I don't know, what kind of person is my significant other going to be? The Tower could say it's someone who's successful, but it could also say someone who's tall. So the way you interpret them is nuanced, very nuanced. But we're not looking for like psychological profiles here unless that's the question you're asking. So very different interpretation from Tarot, and I'm finding it fascinating, and I'm finding that it is changing and informing the way I read the Tarot as well. And don't get me wrong, I still stick with my you can't absolutely predict the future, but you can get a hell of a weather report. Let's see who flew off there. Broom and Whip. This can talk about punishment. Let's just look at how it describes a card and give you an idea of what can be represented by one of these cards. So we have a broom and a whip. The broom and whip card stands as a symbol of cleansing. Okay, broom, sweeping things away. It eradicates everything superfluous, but it acts in a tough and provocative manner. That's probably the whip, to provoke. Pew. Broom and whip not only knocks out dust and turns everything upside down, it also reveals secrets. Think of somebody being tortured with a whip. It foreshadows a quarrel. So whip, I mean, this can talk about conflict, you know, cracking a whip, an adversary. Foreshadows a quarrel that is based on disharmony, and it can indicate the absence of friends, colleagues, and mutual understanding. In addition, broom and whip can also mean punishment. And the keywords, and there are many keywords given for each card: criticism, discussion. So criticism, think of like, you know, discussion, arguments, dispute, debate, opposition, verbosity. So the another thing it can talk about is things that repeat. Think of whip, you know, 30 strokes, things that repeat. And sweeping, sweep, sweep, sweep. Verbosity, controversy, conflict, quarrel, disagreement, objection, confrontation, punishment, scolding, inflammation, irritability, anxiety, aggression, that's clear, accusation, anger, violence, pain. That violence and pain certainly makes sense. Coercion, okay, whip them into shape. Cruelty, yes, abuse, physical tension, control, agitation, purification, deliverance, and hard work. You go at something again and again and again. And broom, sweep, sweep, you know. So fascinating, just fascinating shit, you know. So let's ask a question here. And as I'm learning with Lenormand, you can ask a question, you can activate a card. So you can shuffle the deck and deal off the top. And again, as like with Tarot, you're going to be telling your deck how you're going to shuffle. You're going to be telling your deck how many cards you want and how to arrange things. For instance, I want 5 cards, I'll take them off the top. Or I want 5 cards and you spread them out and draw. Or 7 cards, or however many. And you can also activate a card. So if you're talking about money, for instance, how is my money situation going to be for the month, or whatever time frame you want to put on it. And then you can activate the fish card, which stands for money and finances. And then you shuffle the deck and you look through the deck to find the fish card, and you tell the deck how many cards you want, like activate the fish card and I want the 2 before it and the 2 after it. Then you shuffle, you go through the deck, you find the fish card, and you pick the 2 cards before and the 2 cards after. So fascinating stuff. And I anticipate doing some more videos on Lenormand as I'm learning, just as a way to kind of help my own learning process. Okay, I would like to ask, and yes, this is going to be topical and time specific and not evergreen, and I apologize for the people that are watching this maybe years down the road, but it might be an interesting viewing in hindsight as well. What I'm going to ask about, and I'm going to spread the deck and draw the cards. I'm going to ask, I want 5 cards, and I want to know how the impeachment is going to turn out. Articles of impeachment. Okay. So this is information already. The Sun card is success. And the tree next to it, as successful growth. Tree represents growth. It also represents lineage and descendants, because it talks about roots. Let's look at these two together. What the hell? One of the things I've been doing with this deck as I'm shuffling and telling it, what I want, is cards are just flying out and I'm putting them in a line. So I have been letting this deck decide rather than me telling it what kind of selection process I'm using. Hey, I'm just impressed with myself that I came up with that phrase on this shadow of a retro in the day that I had yesterday. I'm surprised words are coming out of my mouth in any sort of articulate manner. All right. The sun is a symbol of the supreme cosmic power. In the representational systems of ancient people, the sun was always associated with the supreme being, an association being the outcome of an essential observation. Okay. An association being the outcome of an essential observation, which is that the sun gives life to everybody and everything on earth equally, regardless of individual merit or interest. That is why people say that it sends us grace. Also, the sun denotes fertility, and thanks to the eternal cycle, sunrise, sunset, renewal, and recreation. So look, not success so much, just the idea of grace, of benefit. Nevertheless, there are also negative aspects associated with it. For example, it brings about long periods of drought, a reality accompanied by disastrous effects such as prolonged thirst and hunger. Keywords are happiness, vitality, energy, charisma, fame, success. So yes, success, consciousness, obviousness. Consciousness, okay. Obviousness, clear in the light of day. Visibility, sun, day, summer, warmth, heat, light, shininess, enlightenment, enthusiasm, realization, popularity, joy, healthiness, optimism, hearty improvement, confidence, benevolence, brightness, glowing, scorching. Okay. So let's look at it in combination with the tree. It means good health, vitality, great physical energy, spiritual happiness. All right, well, I mean, talking about happiness, I think the sun can be an indication of things being visible and brought into the light of day, and roots going deep, that there will be a lot of digging. Things coming into the light of day because of investigation is what I'm going to look at that. And it's not like there has to be that much digging, for Christ's sake. He did it on national TV. for all the world to see. Now I'm going to spread them out, and I'm going to... Writer says something's coming fast, information coming fast. Okay, so let's quit the shuffling here. I'm going to choose 5 because the one thing great about spreading the cards like this is the shuffle doesn't matter. You're going to select, so you're not depending on the deck to arrange them right and knowing when to quit shuffling. Because sometimes that doubt can creep in. Okay, I'm going to stop shuffling. Is it time yet? Should I keep shuffling? I don't know. The other thing I want to say after having shuffled and shuffled, did you see how easily these shuffle? These cards are plastic, and they are the kind, if I can get this to pop in there, you see that kind of woven grain that's pressed into them? These cards are so easy to handle. God, do I wish every deck was made out of this. They slide on each other. They shuffle easily. They don't wear out easily. Please, please, deck publishers, if we could do stock like this, your products would be so much more user-friendly. All right. Tell me the outcome, 5 cards, the outcome of the impeachment. All right, right there is one. Come on. There. And one over here. All the way over. They're telling me 2 from the middle. All right. Come on. Get out of my way. And look at that rider coming up in the middle again. Okay. Now I'm just going to wing this to begin with, and then we will look up. All right. The bear is a symbol of power. Power, protection, a show of power. All right, mice can talk about anxiety. And what I'm seeing with the mice too, it's kind of like something big brought down to something small. This big show of power is now reduced to worry and anxiety. Then we have the writer, anxiety with news arriving quickly. So I'm thinking this is not going to be a long process. Clover says luck and auspiciousness, so a good outcome, with the letter being results delivered. This is written communication. All right, let's look up things and see how much different it is. I mean, ultimately, the goal is to internalize these symbols and really go on intuition. I'm just going to go to the keywords here. Strength, power, dominance, influence, possessiveness, responsibility, burden, potential, leader, authority, supervisor, boss, parent, ambitious goals, big plans, courage, generosity, fortitude, courage again, material success, confidence and reputation, wealth, finances, property. So this certainly looks like it can represent Trump. The responsibility and burden part is interesting too, because there is a responsibility and a burden on the government to act and react appropriately to a violent insurrection. All right, let's look at bear and mice together. I am not yet that familiar with the order of the cards, so sometimes it takes me a while to find the second one. All right, bear plus mice, corrupt leader. All right, so this is absolutely describing Trump. Something that weakens one's authority, big theft. Oh, snap. They stole the election. Oh, my God. Decaying strength, fighting corruption. Do you see why this is my Lenny tool? This is the first Lenormand deck that I've purchased that really just is talking to me in no uncertain terms. All right. Mice and Rider. As we get to mice, I will go over the keywords there. Debts, flaw, wear, dwindling, yes, see something getting smaller, exhaustion, deficiency, filth, decay, theft. Think of mice in your house. Corruption, demolition, destruction, loss, infestation, infection, parasites, erosion, corrosion, reduction, atrophy, depletion, spoilage, ruin, decline, unsanitary, harm, and intrusive. So we have this big man that thinks he's royalty, and it shows the corruption, it shows the diminishing of his authority. Let's do mice and Rider. Stolen information, hacking a computer, solar winds maybe. Vehicle damage. Okay, so Rider can indicate a vehicle, damage to a vehicle, just to see how these things work. Headache. Okay, no idea where that came from. Dangerous impact, bad news, news of loss, loss of contact, disruption of meeting. Okay, so we've got Trump and corruption, diminishment, things coming out about him, and now we have hacking a computer, disruption of meeting. Bad news, disruption of meeting. Okay, protests, what I'm saying here is protests are going to go on when the impeachment comes online and the trial starts, that there's going to be continuing disruption. Now, let's go to Rider and Clover. So now we're on to the next part. All right. Rider, keywords are information, news, message, transfer, parcel, visit, communication, approach, motion, action, activities, invitation. So several cards, cards have just nuances where they kind of have similar meanings but different. For instance, Rider talks about news arriving. Letter can also mean news arriving, but this would be more of the written word, information in writing, contracts, letters specifically, things like that. Birds talks about communication, but it's verbal chatter. So that could sort of be news, but it's like more gossip. This is more news, a bearer of news. So very interesting stuff. All right. So information, news, message, transfer, something going from one place to another. Look at the horse. Parcel, delivery of a package. Visit, communication, approach, motion, action, activities, invitation. So we're looking at the news, the message, what information is going to arrive and come out here, and the action being taken. And the clovers next to it, good news, creative beginnings, solving social issues, lucky adventurers. So it says that the impeachment goes forward in a good way. It goes forward successfully, that there's auspicious energy around it, good luck. And now let's look at Clover and Letter. Luck, happiness, hope, intuitive foresight, wonderful opportunity, fair play, gambling, discovery, gift of fate, turn of fortune, surprise, optimism, gain, and spontaneity. Clover and Letter means good time for paperwork, unimportant correspondence. Communication about an opportunity, short and light communication. I would like to take a clarifier on that. Let me look at that again. Unimportant correspondence, communication about an opportunity. Opportunity, communication. What I'm seeing here is that they will be fortunate in getting the communication they need, in getting the documentation they need. Okay, I'm going to take another card just as a clarifier to letter. All right, I'm coming over here. Fox. All right. This talks about deception. It can talk about craftiness and lies. So I think this is saying that they're going to be successful in finding like written communication that exposes lies. Vigilance, prudence, agility, skills, survival, adaptability. So think about the fox and all that cunning stuff, you know. Strategy, creativity, instinct, intelligence, common sense, self-care, discernment, disguise, cunningness, lies, theft, fraud, stealth, dodging, lies, again, deception, manipulation. So that's what I'm seeing here, is that there's the arrival of news, things start in a good manner, and that they will be lucky in uncovering written communication that verifies lies and deception and the things that they need to prove. Okay, that's what I got there. If you have things, if you're a Lenny reader or not a Lenny reader, but those are singing to you, please comment down below what you thought of that spread, what you got out of it. Now let's look at these, and I can't put these like I do with the Russian Rome. I'll do a line and a line, and then I'll have to move them up. But a lot less malleable than that deck, and we do have to just shuffle these. So let's ask about Inauguration Day. Let's turn our attention to Joe Biden and ask about how he will fare on Inauguration Day. So we're kind of looking at his feelings, things from his perspective. And all we can match is, obviously, because, you know, we can't match this to a side picture. Oh, looky. Let's see what the child says. Unfortunately, on these cards, crap, we don't have the number of that card. So this is going to be a pain in the ass. And I just have to flip through until I find it. Scythe, coffin, snake. Yeah, child is past that. Sorry, I might edit out some dead air here. Garden, mountain, heart. Crapola. Hold on here. You know, I think it's actually going to be faster for me to just find them in here and get the number. Okay, child is 13. I thought so. And I went to 13. 13 showed up in my mind, and I went right past it. Okay, so it's kind of hard to find things. That's a small complaint. Child, toddler, young man, teenager, grandchild, inner child, innocence, gentleness, naivete, inexperience, immaturity, vulnerability, fragility, weakness, irresponsibility, sensitivity, harmlessness, delicateness, small size. All right, new stage. A new stage, a start, a beginning. So certainly it's a new beginning for him. And also that sense of vulnerability, that he is placing himself in an incredibly vulnerable position. I am going to put up a video that's a reading of the transits on Inauguration Day in terms of Joe Biden's natal chart. You might want to check that out. Okay, vulnerability. And I think we do, how many cards across do we do? So let's look to the instructions in the back here. Guidelines for using the 18-card deck. The querent asks his or her questions and the deck is sufficiently shuffled. After all the cards are laid on the table, no moving is allowed with the exception of the image matching rotation. So you can rotate. Always read from left to right and from top to bottom. Interpretation is based on card matching and order. All 18 cards of the Solitaire deck are involved in the layout. The cards should be laid out on the table neatly. Table or tablecloth. Thank you for clarifying that. Evenly and as close as possible to each other. There should be no gaps between the cards. You're aiming for image matches that form a complete card picture in order to enable the interpretation of the current layout. Because order is essential, card reading is done from left to right and from top to bottom as follows. So we lay them out in 6. That's what I was looking for. 6. Okay. All right. So we have child, that one image. And you notice since it's not next to another thing, we're just taking the card on its own. So this is already different. Card matching rotation. All right, start laying out. So we need to look at the tops and the bottoms too. Laying out the first row, identify card matches. Lay out the second row. First, identify card matches vertically between row 1 and 2, and then card matches in 2 left to right. Then you do the third row. So here we have an image that we can rotate, and we get the woman, and she's 28 or 29. I know that. Starting to internalize some things. Female, femininity, relative, e.g., wife, bride, mother, daughter, sister, girlfriend. Women's organizations, associations, women's societies, or events, sympathy, empathy, intuition, flexibility, caring, softness, defenselessness, fertility, depth, calmness. So we have a reiteration of the vulnerability here. Empathy, intuition, caring, softness. So this is telling me that his message for the day is going to be one of support, one that offers caring and the motherly, literally motherly caring touch that we have been desperately needing from someone, anyone, over this pandemic. Look here, another straight up. Gosh, the first time I did this, I got like 2 pictures. So this is clouds that we need to find. I see them sticking out right. Nope, that's not clouds. Hold on. It is faster this way, but it's still not a great way. So what I might do, I'm not a great deck modifier at all. But I think what I will do with this deck is in the front of this book, list the numbers of the cards. Better yet, I will memorize the numbers of the cards, but that's going to take a little while. Okay, clouds are number 6. Confusion, uncertainty, doubt, misunderstanding, obscurity, illogical behavior, unclear thinking, disturbing thoughts, suspense, mental state, illusion, concealment, doubt, decline of spirit, hidden things, disguised, vague, ghostly, bipolar, lost, foggy, foreshadowing the storm, oppressed, inconsistent, restless, inexplicable, ambiguous, bad weather, clouds, and rain. Okay, so we can kind of look literally and say that it's going to be cloudy and rainy. That'll be interesting. Uncertainty, doubt. So, I mean, certainly he's not going in. That's why I settled on vulnerability with the child, because he's not naive. He's not going into this with a naivete. This man is facing possible death. There's no 2 ways about it. All right. Dog. So I guess, like, if these things match side to side, that we do turn them that way. It's just hard because they're rectangular rather than square. And it's harder to perceive when there's a match that way. So we're looking for matches here. I mean, yeah, those. And then, all right, let me see here. Garden ring, stork, clover, fox, house, letter, key, ship. See, those don't match. That doesn't match. That's fox. Fox, okay. So we got to do this. And in the Russian Roma deck, the position, you know, they're square, so you just turn them and leave them, and the way it faces would be a nuance. But like I said, this kind of takes you out of that Lenormand of one image modifying the next, unless you just, you know, keep, I don't know. So, I'm working with them, gang. Fox 14 is what I'm thinking. I got it. They're starting to stick. I'm excited. Vigilance, prudence, agility. We just read these. So vigilance, prudence, agility, skill, survival, adaptability. So he's definitely, sorry. It's 2 o'clock. I haven't had breakfast. He's going to have to be adaptable to the changing situation. Intelligence, common sense, self-care, discernment. Okay. So this tells me he will survive and that he's adaptable to a changing situation that might need to be, you know, altered for his safety as intelligence comes in. Then we've got, all right, no match there. Fish. Okay, those are like this. All right, now let's move them this way. Thank the gods there are fewer cards than the Russian Roma, which has 25 cards. This has 18. And those, okay, so we've got one here with bouquet. And I want to go, okay, which way is it facing? Bouquet is what? I don't know. All right, number 9. 9 bouquet, 9 bouquet. All right. Bouquet. Luck, gift, reward, decoration, beauty, grace, cordiality, compliments, romantic courtship, flattery, delight, joy, flirting, reward, harmony, confession, profit, charm, style, fashion, decor, art, design, arrangement, presentation, portfolio, aesthetics, pleasure, exposition, exhibition, performance, sociability, confidence, coquetry, frivolity, innocence, openness, courtesy, sensuality, freshness, fragility, a fortunate coincidence. So this is like a gift or an offer, decoration, beauty. I'm happy for the luck, cordiality. This talks about the general, that they will manage that general celebratory inauguration vibe that every incoming president deserves of, you know, inauguration balls, and you know, I have no idea what's going on as far as that goes, but that there will be cordiality and congratulations happening throughout the day. And you know, I'm not looking like on the other side, because I guess you could match by turning them both upside down. Like I said, it's more difficult than the Russian Roma, also because I'm not really used to these images yet. All right, nothing there. Oh, wait, yes, ring, ring. Hello. Oh, that little kid joke. You took a piece of paper and you folded it in a long thing and folded the ends down like a telephone, old-fashioned telephone receiver, you know, this image. And you would tell someone to hold out their hand, and you would put that on their hand and tell them to say, wing, wing, wing. And they'd say, wing, wing, wing. And you'd pick it up and go, hello. Little kid jokes, that's what we're down to, folks. All right, ring is 20-something is my guess. I don't know. Pulling it out of my ass, 25. Ha ha. All right. Ring is union, association, alliance, syndicate, union. Let's just go with that. This can be a unifying moment, and I think some people that have really been vulnerable and sucked in by the violent rhetoric and the aggressive rhetoric that's been the hallmark of this entire regime, are going to have an experience, I'm hoping, have an experience of that relief when there's an adult in the room, that relief that there's a parental, that's the word, a parental voice in tough times. Parental voice coming in and saying, it's okay, we're going to take care of you. I think there will be, wonderful announcements about the money he's asking for to help people. What a concept. Syndicate, coalition, connection, bond, agreement, contract, dedication. So this is his oath. Affiliation, a vow, a promise. Good. Then he takes the oath. That's the way it was, right? Yes. I got no. It doesn't have to be as confusing as I'm thinking it is what I'm thinking. Okay, now, this is what I was talking about. I guess we can do this. They stay in their positions, but we get the picture anyway. Book. Where's a book? And this may actually, this is 26, this may actually send me back to the Russian Romas and kind of bring in that ability to look at it upside down and go with the more negative meanings, since I'm not having them modified by the cards next to them. I think that might be a thing to do. All right, book. Knowledge, education, secret, mystery, information, history, experience, research, teaching, script, training, archiving, library, instructions, intellect, unknown, recorded, learning, study, erudite. Okay, so here I think we're looking at history in the making. This is a historic inauguration. This is the first time that it is not open to the public. They're not allowing people in, from my understanding. And then we have experience and intellect and learning and erudition. That, thank you. Now we welcome in, there's the vow, and now we welcome in a presidency, an historic presidency coming on the heels of an attempted coup, and we have experience and intelligence coming in. And then we also have lilies. Okay, did we have any matches there? We don't have any matches there, right? Oh, no, right, we don't. Okay. Lilies is 30. Because I've looked up lilies again and again and again, and I have to say I have gone more, the meaning of lilies in this book is so ambiguous that I have gone to my Raina George book of The Essential Lenormand and really looked at her interpretation of lilies. And she talks about dynasty, heredity, lineage, if you think in terms of lilies and the fleur-de-lis representing royalty. And so it represents something older, maturity. Virtue, sensuality, innocence, chasteness, morality, ethics, damn, temperance, harmony, prudence, righteousness, peacefulness, peace. That would be nice. Wisdom, restraint, modesty, aspiration, support, tranquility, serenity, cleanliness, purity of intentions, pureness of heart, clear conscience, caring, maturity, experience, austereness, and cold. So the clear conscience, maturity, all of that stuff, I think that's what, and ethics. I like that meaning a lot. All right. Let me know what you thought of these. You know, they are a little bit more flexible than I thought in the beginning. I wasn't really... It's kind of like when I first started working with the Russian Romas and I was having trouble wrapping my head around how to do it. Anyway, if you liked that, please like that. That helps me tremendously. Be generous with your like clicking. And let me know what you think of this deck. I have a feeling kind of like the carrot cards. There's going to be a lot of this deck hitting people's inboxes. It's not cheap. This deck was like $35. So Or was it more? I think it might have been 45. Let me see. I can tell you in just a hot second here. This deck I purchased from Amazon. What else is new? Where did you go? Darling, where did you go? Oh, there it is. Yeah, $46. Yeah, I thought 35 sounded too cheap. $46. You're getting 2 decks, but you're not really getting 2 decks. You're getting 2 versions of the same deck and one with just a different way of reading. I went for it so fast because of the Russian Roma. This is the only other deck I have seen structured like that. The only other deck. But the fact that this is Russian or Ukrainian authors and published in Ukraine, that tells me that this is part of that tradition. And I am going to kind of be looking now for more Russian fortune-telling decks to see if I can find more that operate in this way, because it is a fascinating system. Wow, 50 minutes. Holy shit. I hope you sat through this with me. Again, if you saw other interpretations, if you're a Lenny reader and you see other things, please let me know down below. Let's have a discussion. You can also join my Patreon if you'd like. If you're interested in astrology, you can be the exclusive recipients of content on the flat wheel and how to read your own chart. I'm going to cut through a lot of the crap of studying and, slogging through all this information. I'm going to give you a way to organize and conceptualize things that'll make it a whole lot easier for you to learn how to read a chart. So, darlings, and look, I didn't even unplug my water or light a charcoal. Holy shit. I'm having a bad immune time because I got a chemical burn from a stink bug and it kicked off all my autoimmune stuff. So I'm not thinking too well. Anyway, it worked regardless. Thank you for sticking around. I'll see you next time on whatever video I put up next. You'll just have to find out. In the meantime, it's Luna the Zen Witch. Blessed be.